reaction content. I'm giving my reaction. I don't know. It's kind of the first real react we've done on stream, at least in a long while. How does full screen? Is full screen better?
Cars was regarded as the ultimate thing in his series. Would that remain true for the Dragon Ball though? Let's play some against Dragon Ball Gauntlet.
Does Cars ever? All right, you're back. All right, sick. So okay, wait. How's the audio? Can you tell me how's the audio?
Cars was regarded as the ultimate thing in his series. Would that remain true if we put him in Dragon Ball though? Let's place him up against Dragon Ball Gauntlet of sorts.
Is audio all right now? I can also turn the fan. I can't turn the fan off. It's way too hot to do that.
Let's see how they handle the ultimate life form. Like my other gauntlets, this one will have 2 phases.
It's all good.
First one covering how far he goes.
All right, nice. All right, last time I'm restarting this, just to give some reference real fast. Just to give some reference, right? If I'm not mistaken, he said he thinks Cars is anywhere from being faster than light to hundreds of times faster than light. It's like, dude, everyone in the final encounter, right, where he becomes the perfect Pillar Man, right? Everyone in the final encounter, they essentially fit in a gymnasium, right? That's like the distance everyone's standing around in. They fit in like a gymnasium. How long do you think it takes? There isn't 10,000 people there, by the way. But how long do you think it would take for light to bounce around a gymnasium 10,000 times? Because again, if the answer is anything less than, or anything more than a fraction of a second, they're just clueless at how unbelievable, incomprehensibly fast light is. That's just clear to me. Crazy to me. Alright, let's get into this again. Like, dude, they just can't help themselves. Like, something about that Pillar Man meme, bro. They just can't help themselves.
Cars was regarded as the ultimate thing in his series. Would that remain true if we put him in Dragon Ball though? Let's place him up against Dragon Ball Gauntlet of sorts. A little bit different from the ones we normally do. Dragon Ball already had its own perfect life form, but let's see how they handle the ultimate life form. Like my other gauntlets, this one will have 2 phases.
Let's see how they handle the ultimate life. Shut the fuck. Just shut up. Shut up! He's not the ultimate life form. And again, in comparison, ultimate is less than perfect. Perfection is the pinnacle. Ultimate just means great. They need that meat. That Pillar Man meat, yup.
With the first one covering how far he goes with his standard power based on what we've actually seen. The second phase will be more hypothetical, covering his specific abilities and how far they could potentially take him, although it's a bit more based on assumptions. First, we have a quick rundown of Cars' abilities, as well as the power that he's starting out with. I'll keep the scaling brief because Dragon Ball has such a huge jump in power early on.
Dude, no fucking Dragon Ball character is suffering like that. You can throw Frieza. Throw Frieza in a fucking volcano. They're not burning like that shit. They're just not. Right? They can make key barriers and all this stuff. It's not happening to them, dude. It's not even close.
With certain characters, they get outdone pretty much immediately. Let's begin with his stats. Cars is physically one of the strongest JoJo characters in his original verse. Of course, other characters do have powerful hacks from their stands, but in terms of actual raw power, just physical strength alone, Cars is at the top of that. In my videos, I tend to scale him between city level and mountain level, and because he physically scales above so many other JoJo characters, he's also massively faster than light, somewhere in the hundreds of times faster than light range.
I didn't mishear him, dude. He thinks Cars is hundreds of times faster than light. Okay, I must just be completely... No, just no. I must be completely, like... He must come back later in the series. He has to come back later in the series. He's, like, he somehow loops back around and lands back on Earth, and then he gets a stand and everything. And that's where people are making this fucking assessment, because... No, he's not anywhere close. He even shows him struggling to catch up to fucking Joseph as he's shooting him. He's shooting at him. Why wouldn't he just blitz him? Why wouldn't he just insta-blitz him? What is it? What is even happening? What is even... This is rage bait. This is rage bait is what this is.
And even without scaling him to other characters in later parts, he has his own faster than light feats.
So I think a better scene... Ooh, I was just about to swap my scene because I don't want to change the size of my camera, but I have a better camera that's like over here in like the corner. Okay, I didn't hear that last bit. I'm still digesting. Hundreds of times faster than light. That means it has to be so succulent for them to keep it in their mouth like this. Like, literally, dude. It's gotta be, like, some of the best shit ever, dude. Oh my god. Fuck, man.
He's also massively faster than light, somewhere in the hundreds of times faster than light range. And even without scaling him to other characters in later parts, he has his own faster than light feats. So, even though he's not really strong in comparison to a lot of Dragon Ball characters, he is pretty fast. Again, physical power doesn't really matter much here, but speed kind of does, because...
Yeah, bro, that's some light speed he's displaying right here.
A lot of these crazy faster than light...
Dude, what you're showing right now is a regular ass nigga, okay? Sorry, I don't normally bring out that word. But holy shit, I'm actually there. You're showing a regular Russian guy watching him come to slash him. If you're faster than light, you don't see that. You literally don't. Imagine, right? If you turn, they think light is this slow that you can turn on light. Oh, look, I'm seeing the light come towards me. It's like, no. No. A regular dude. Like, holy shit.
Faster than light things, that's later on in the Z portion of the series. But we're not too focused on stats here. More so, we're concerned about what Cars is capable of, his abilities. So let's go through them real quick.
We're not concerned about stats? No. Okay, he's glossing. Okay, I'm sorry, I keep pausing it, but dude, they're glossing over. We're not concerned about that. No, yeah, you're not concerned about stats because he is completely... That's a real slow light speed. Right? He is completely no-diffed by every single Dragon Ball Z character. Krillin, even Yamcha. Even Yamcha, dude. Even Yamcha's fucking no-diff in his ass. I'll give it to Yamcha, dude. Like, that's the one fight he is still winning. Right? Yamcha can fly without wings. Cars ain't doing that shit. Tien, bro. Oh, wait. Oh, Tien, yeah, Tien, I mean, he's just fucking... it's Basenko? Wait. No, Basenko is, Trunks's. Shit, I don't remember. Or Tien... No, wait, Tien has the third eye, and then I forget who the little guy is. I always get the two confused, because they're, like, best friends. But he's glossing over, like, stats, because, dude, as a raw stat, they're more durable, they're faster, far stronger, they can do what he's doing easier, right? All the impressive shit, like flying and all that shit, it's just easier. Regeneration, Piccolo has that stuff, right? They just do what he does far better.
Power doesn't really matter much here, but speed kind of does, because Dragon Ball gets really strong and really quick. But in terms of speed,
power doesn't really matter much here.
Massively faster than light things, that's later on in the Z portion of the series. But we're not too focused on stats here. More so, we're concerned about what Cars is capable of, his abilities. So let's go through them real quick. Cars is immortal. You can defeat him by sending him into space, which causes him to get frozen up and just not be able to move. But you're gonna have a really hard time killing him.
If you can move at the speed of light, how are you freezing in outer space? If you can move at the speed of light, how are you ever freezing out of space? I know I'm bringing in too much physics here, but JoJo's is they do go into physics like that. I mean, he fucking froze anyways, right? If you're just like breathing at the speed of light, you know, or just like pumping your heart at the speed of light, you are not freezing in outer space. Plain and simple. If he's beaten by outer space, which mind you, every character in Dragon Ball is not beaten in that. Hundreds of times, my mistake. Hundreds of times faster, right? Yeah, hundreds of times faster. Every character in Dragon Ball is literally not beaten by outer space. They have outer space feats. You know, Goku especially, right? Fuck, man.
Impossible, but his regeneration makes it really tough. It's not as crazy as someone like Cell, for example, who could regenerate from
Okay, I will say he's put a lot into this video so far, though. He's good. It's good editing. I like the music. It's well-made video. Like the last guy, I did this huge critique. I was like, the video was made well. You know, you were able to display information correctly. You're just displaying wrong information. Like, holy shit.
Cell, but still, it's really good because at worst, it's stated that he can still be alive as dust. Cars cannot.
What? again, he's comparing him to Cell here, and if Cell is defeated in Dragon Ball, like, by, you know, the narrative characters, he's, even if you want to say he's comparable to Cell, which he's not even close, Cell was defeated, so I don't even know where you're going with this, my guy.
Cars is immortal. You can't defeat him by sending him into space, which causes him to get frozen up and just not be able to move. But you're gonna have
He's also wrong! He's wrong that he can return from dust. He panicked. He panicked in a volcano. The exact thoughts he was having was like, he can die from this. Like, this is enough to kill him. It will destroy his cells. He's not returning from dust. He can return from a cell. If you destroy all his cells, like Cell, then he can't regenerate because there's nothing to regenerate. He's been reduced to elemental particles. Right? The only fucking people is like fucking cursed spirits like Mahito or whatever, because they don't have cells, and so long as they have cursed energy, that's all that matters.
It's not impossible, but his regeneration makes it really tough. It's not as crazy as someone like Cell, for example, who could regenerate from a single cell, but still, it's really good because at worst, it's stated that he can still be alive as dust. Cars can also kind of possess people by going into their body and then controlling them that way.
He just contradicted himself. Like, did you hear that? He completely contradicted himself. He said it's not as good as Cell, who can regenerate from one cell, but he can regenerate from dust. Do you know what dust is? Dust is what makes up cells. It is smaller. There's no, you can find DNA within dust, but dust is a part of a cell, right? It's like when you scratch yourself, you're breaking off and dead skin falls off. That's what dust is. It's cell particles. It's smaller than, like, a dust particle is smaller than a human cell, if I'm not mistaken, because dust is what comes from human cells, which is, like, logical, right?
Could regenerate from a single cell, but still, it's really good because at worst, it's stated that he can still be alive as dust. Cars can also kind of possess people by going into their body and then controlling them that way. His body is capable of a lot of weird things like digesting other people through acid, and absorbing them that way too. And in case it wasn't clear, in this video we're using Ultimate Cars, so this is him at the end of part 2, at his strongest. He already did have body manipulation before.
I forgot this part. Where he's just groping on his mother right in front of him. I forgot that part. Cars is a funny ass dude. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, the arrogance. If he's hundreds of times faster than light, why does he have to, like, you know, why does he have to cause, like, this, you know, ultimatum here with fucking Joseph? Why is he just blitzing him? You know, hundreds of times faster than light. Joseph is nowhere close to light speed. I'm sorry, dude. I love Joseph. I do. He is nowhere close to light speed. Fucking Yamcha. Again, Yamcha is beating the shit out of Joseph. At least pre-Stan Joseph. Maybe Stan Joseph. I mean, Stan Joseph gets weaker, though. Like, physically he gets weaker. But he gets his Rose Stand, which maybe... It's like Black Whip, right? You give him, like, Black Whip, basically. It's a closer fight.
But at this point, he could do even more things with it, like biological manipulation. He could use the abilities of any organism on Earth, and we'll get more into that later. But it's so potent that he can manipulate himself on a cellular level.
Special move at light speed.
The cells to be that of any organism. Which
Wait, are you talking about the Tommy gun? Light speed Tommy gun. Because there's this Roblox game called Anime Battle Simulator that my little brother used to play a bunch, and that's one of Joseph's abilities, is pulling out the Tommy gun and you just spray him down. It's hella funny, actually. No, running away! Yeah, that would be great. That would be great if he fucking insta out of there. So yeah, become the ultimate life form. Cars many transformation abilities with the power of stone mask embedded. Cars finally becomes the ultimate form, you know, as he wanted to be. All the abilities of living things and can transform his body into fish, octopuses, flyers, butterflies, and more.
Shapeshift as well. Cars is also insanely intelligent. His IQ is 400. And beyond having a great IQ, he has great senses too. Besides being able to do everything that any animal on Earth is capable of, his senses are just crazy to begin with. Like, for reference, his eyes are compared to a space telescope. He also has access to Hamon, and he's the strongest user of it in the series. And most importantly, Cars is really adaptable. Given his great intelligence and all his crazy abilities, that's a deadly combination because he could adapt to pretty much any sort of situation that he needs to adapt to, growing and evolving within the moment, and easily strategizing. So, now that we got a baseline of what he's capable of and how strong he is, let's start with the gauntlet himself. First phase, just looking at his standard powers, seeing physically what he can contend with. So in this phase, we're assuming Cars isn't going to pull any...
See, okay, right there. So watching him cut bullets, that's a much better feat of, you know, speed than chasing down Joseph in an airplane. But again, in power scaling, right, they separate travel speed from combat speed because there are a lot of abilities that lots of characters have where it makes them able to travel very quickly, but they're not able to utilize that in combat, right? With Cars here, yeah. Oh, damn. I got, like, bit by something. Fucking a bug or whatever. Yeah, so with Cars, yeah, he has, like, you know, chopping bullets, that's fast. But again, you don't have to be light speed to cut bullets like that. You just have to be faster than the bullets. That's it. You have to be bullet speed. So let's see where the light speed feat comes from. Hundreds of times.
Whatever. Just based on raw power alone, let's see how far he goes based on that. This part will be more objective because it's based on actual strength and not hypotheticals. The first few arcs aren't really an issue for him. Roshi poses the biggest threat at max power, but he's way too slow for Cars. Cars outspeeds pretty much everyone.
He's not explaining light speed bullets. Yeah, right? Exactly. What does he mean? Master Roshi isn't faster than Cars. You have no fucking clue how fast Master Roshi is. Dude, I'm tired. I'm so tired of these clowns, bro. Underselling my boy Roshi. Roshi is slower. Exactly, dude. What are you talking about? Roshi is slower, bro. Oh my god. Oh, damn, can you see that? It's like bad. Just randomly, I just get bit by a fucking bug. I still have not heard why he believes Cars is faster than light. He's just like, he's hundreds of times faster than light. Fact. He's faster than Roshi because he's hundreds of times faster than light. Yes, if you're hundreds of times faster than light, you're faster than Roshi. But I have yet to see it. He's slower again, exactly. Like that. I question if this guy's even seen Dragon Ball. I question if they've even seen Dragon Ball. Because, alright, maybe, even if you want to say Roshi's speed, like combat speed, which no, what we have shown is if you can shoot a Kamehameha, right, your speed is relative to the ki blasts, and your durability is relative to the ki blasts that you can shoot, right? Like, there's a lot of instances where someone goes all out with their Kamehameha, but it gets, like, either turned around at them or something like that, and they get hit by their own attack, right? Your durability and your battle power are comparable in Dragon Ball, right? The Kamehameha it's like a comparable light speed attack, right? It can go and destroy the moon in a few seconds. Obliterate the moon in a few seconds, right? That's comparable to light speed. Cars is not dodging a Kamehameha. Roshi is fucking no diffing him. Easy. One Kamehameha and he's finished.
Until we get to the end of Namek, so in terms of speed, he's fine here. His combat and reactions are hundreds of times the speed of light, and because of that, he won't get matched until that point. But in terms of power, well, he starts facing issues around the 22nd World Tournament because pretty much every top-tier character there is a Moonbuster. But his speed will definitely be helpful, and if he's not completely destroyed in one shot, he can regenerate. Of course, any of these Moonbusting characters have the potential to destroy him in one shot, but if they leave some dust from him behind, he can come back from that. Moonbusting is definitely way too much for him to handle, but what's the point if he could just dodge everything really easily? It's like putting a squirrel against a...
Just dodge, forehead. Just dodge. He just dodges, forehead. He just dodges it. He's 100 times out of the line. I've still yet to see... Exactly, right? I've still yet to see why he thinks he's faster than light. He just continues to state that he is. Why do you think this? Why do you think this? He's unable to fucking... Look, a fucking eruption is quick. It's like bullet speed, right? An eruption is quick. He can't dodge that. He saw it happening. He's like, shit, it's erupting. And he gets caught and pushed up. He's not even strong enough to overcome an eruption, to push himself off a rock. Right? That shit launched him into outer space. What do you mean his reaction speed and combat speed is faster than light? He's getting caught by a fucking volcano erupting. Dude, there's feats in Dragon Ball that they can force volcanoes to erupt just by, like, willing it to happen. Hell, he doesn't even make it in fucking Avatar. Any of the avatars, Roshi, like, literally, water, earth, fire, air. Dude, they can make fucking volcanoes erupt, and he's finished. He's getting diffed by Avatar characters, bro. What are you talking about? What are we talking about right now?
It's a car. Yeah, the car's just going to eviscerate the squirrel. But what if that car is only going 20 miles an hour and that squirrel is going like 5,000 miles per hour or something? Ridiculous analogy, I know, but it's kind of what would happen. That car is just not going to hit the squirrel. If it does, the squirrel is screwed.
That also, I mean, sure. If you're going to say a squirrel can go that fast, the only way it's going to do any damage to a car, it's if it eviscerates itself against the car. Yeah, it's quick. What is a squirrel ever going to do against the car? Still in your analogy. He doesn't have the combat power to compete. Even if you want to say, oh, he'll just dodge for it. He's just too fast for it. It's like, he doesn't have the combat power to compete. He can't scratch them. Like, his slashes do jack shit. The best he has is eating them, right? Disintegrating them. But they have shown the ability to will themselves to be stronger than that. Hell, I mean, yeah, we're talking about Saiyans and Vegeta and stuff, and that's more in Dragon Ball Z. But their willpower is on the level where even Boo can't digest them. Like, what are we talking about, dude? Like, what are we even talking about?
But they won't get hit. Anyways, by this point in the story, raw power won't be enough, so Cars can survive, but he cannot fight. At least not in traditional terms. He probably does have some ways to combat others, but for that we would have to delve into his abilities. So, I guess now's the point where Phase 2 starts. I know what you're all here for. With his abilities and adaptation, where can he get to?
Look, if he... Okay, no, he's bringing this up. If he was so fast, why did he make the nimble squirrel? He made the squirrel, and he goes on to be like, oh, it's more nimble and all that. It's going to be able to do that shit, and it eviscerates them. Why would he not have just done that himself? Why did he make the squirrel? He did it because it's faster than him. It's more nimble. According to the Versus Battle wiki, he can also fly by transforming his arms into wings. No light speed. Yeah, so in the wiki, I don't know where the fuck they're getting this from.
What he can accomplish. There's a brief detour we need to make in regards to what he can transform into. Cars can mimic everything that lives on Earth. I know all of you are thinking right now. If we're throwing him the Dragon Ball, could he adapt his DNA to other life forms in it? Well,
he's gonna be a Shenron.
So when we just throw him into Dragon Ball and he has no prior knowledge.
He'll be fucking.
I think he could at least adapt to Saiyan DNA. If he was from the verse, then he would definitely have Saiyan DNA and Namekian DNA, because Goku, Kami, Piccolo, everyone that was previously on Earth.
Dude, this is what they always do, bro. These car suckers, bro. Them sucking off car. They're always like, oh, bro, he just dodges forehead. He just steals their DNA forehead. That's all they can say. That's literally all they can say. And he's definitely not 100 times faster, right? 124 kilometers an hour versus 180,000 miles a second. I think that's just that might just be a little bit slower than 100 times faster than, like, just a little bit, according to my calculations.
That's more conservative. We're just throwing him in here and he has no knowledge of anything. As for Saiyan DNA, there is one big thing to consider. Saiyans and humans can have kids together. I swear this is going somewhere. We're going to be applying real-world science here, which may not fit Dragon Ball, but we often do that for power scaling anyways, so it's kind of fair to do the same here. This isn't a one-off case either.
Saiyan DNA is a dominant trait.
And Vegeta obviously had kids with humans, and even down the line, Gohan had his own kid. Plus, while it's not part of the same continuity, we've seen the lineage of hybrid Saiyans extend very far to Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr.
Also, hybrid Saiyans show a higher potential than pure-blooded Saiyans. That's just what they show. Trunks shows like the potential. Gohan was stronger. Well, he was the one who defeated Perfect Cell, right? Goten as well. I mean, she's flying as a baby. None of the other Saiyans doing that shit. They're just not doing that shit. Hybrid Saiyans show higher potential in Dragon Ball. Oh, well, we can use real-life science, so let's use physics. Exactly, right, dude? He's not, it's so, oh my god. No, dude, it's just, no. Let's hear the point.
Canon, but still worth mentioning because every part of the series, no matter what continuity it's from, It considers Saiyans and humans to be fully compatible in terms of mating. This means Saiyans are biologically really similar to humans. They can have multiple healthy generations of kids together with no problems, which requires very little variance in DNA. Sure, maybe Saiyans are like filter mites and they can just reproduce with anything, but funny enough, Toriyama had said before that Kais may frequently...
This may be the last ad you ever see.
What?
Because with the free ad...
How am I seeing an ad?
split up species and...
Hold on, that's impossible, dude.
They can have multiple healthy generations of kids together with no problems, which requires very little variance in DNA. Sure, maybe Saiyans were like filter mites and they could just reproduce with anything, but funny enough, Toriyama had said before that Kais may frequently split up species and transport them around planets. So not only are Saiyans and humans genetically really close, but there is a very real chance that they might have a common ancestor. In short, this means Cars should be able to adapt to Saiyan DNA very easily, even if we don't give him that right off the bat. That Saiyan sex ed lesson had a purpose.
Notice what they have to do to make him able to overcome these threats. He has to become them. Right? He has to eat them. And then he becomes them and he's like, oh, well, because I'm Cars and I'm also a Saiyan now, that just means I'm... Dude, just because you have Saiyan DNA, that doesn't mean shit. Saiyans are, quite honestly, like, your average Saiyan is actually pretty fucking weak. Genuinely speaking, that's just the truth. It's only the elites, right? They're again, their continuity fucked up here. They were eviscerated by Frieza. They didn't stand a chance. They didn't stand a chance. Goku's father was like one of the strongest of like the lower class Saiyans. Lower class Saiyans are fucking getting dog walked. They can't do ki blasts. None of that stuff. They can fly. More ads. Yeah, I'm sorry. I turned off the ads for myself here. I turned off the ads for myself. I will wait. We'll wait for Fatal to get back. So yeah, the point that I was making is, like, just having Saiyan DNA, it doesn't mean anything. It gives you the ability to get higher, right? Saiyans essentially have no ceiling to how strong they can become because of, you know, Zenkai boosts, their inherent strength factor and all that. They are base physically stronger than humans, but they're not inherently, you know, overpowered and obliterating. You know, they're not inherently... They don't have the ability to shoot ki blasts. Just because you give Cars Saiyan DNA, it doesn't mean he's going to be able to all of a sudden start shooting ki blasts. He's going to have to get Saiyan DNA, get his ass kicked again, get his ass kicked again and again and again. And the question is if he even would get the same Zenkai boosts. Because what a Zenkai boost is the concept of you work out, right? You work out and you get slight muscle tears, and then as they fill in, you get more muscle and you become stronger. That's what a Zenkai boost is. You get shit on, you get dog walked, and the shit's beat out of you, you're rocked up, and so long as you don't die and your body recovers, Saiyan DNA allows for them to recover stronger, like significantly so. It happens to humans, but with Saiyans, it's insane. And exactly, the other thing that they do, they take these characters and take them out of character all the time, which, sure, if you want to just, like, put raw power, I can see taking them out of character. But when they're in character, he is so arrogant, right? Maybe it's just because he's arrogant because he's in his own verse, and when he starts saying, you know, what shit, like... Yeah, his arrogance wouldn't... Yeah. Oh, his arrogance wouldn't let him get, like, beat on. Oh, that's what you mean. Like, he wouldn't even acknowledge the Zenkai boost, right? Like, that's the other thing. Why is he even taking their DNA? Why does he think... He didn't just, like, copy Joseph's DNA and all these other humans and all this. He didn't see a point to do it, right? So why is he gonna, like, look at Goku and think that's any different? You know what I'm saying? The one thing that he will have access to, if you do give him the ability to manipulate Saiyan DNA, he could get, like, the Ozaru form, the Great Ape form, which, if the moon's in the sky, that is significant. It's not... It does give him the power to... I don't know if Roshi is defeating a Great Ape. So if you give him a Great Ape form, which is a big fucking tall order, right? That is the one trick. But he has no clue. Yeah, he's 400 IQ, but how's he going to know this? How is he going to know I need to take their DNA to get a Zenkai boost and have Ozaru and fucking Ki Blast? It's like, he doesn't know, dude. And then even if you want to put him in character, there are still ways to just stop that. You just blow up the moon. Do as Piccolo did. he sees it raging. He's like, oh, I have to stop this. The moon! And obliterates it, right? That simple. It is that simple.
Very easily. Even if we don't give him that right off the bat, that Saiyan sex ed lesson had a purpose. This has insane implications because Saiyans, of course, are pretty powerful by default. But more importantly, this gives him access to Zenkai Boost and even
I knew it. I knew he was going to go Zenkai Boost and Super Saiyan. No! No! Like, no! He does not get access to Super Saiyan just because he stole DNA. Do you know how tall of an order, how much training has to go in to become a Super Saiyan? All of Dragon Ball. All of Dragon Ball. Then you got Dragon Ball Z. Most of the, like, you have the Saiyan arc and you have all this other shit. Then you get into Namek. Then you have to be pushed beyond your limits by fucking a planet destroyer, Frieza. And that is how you become a Super Saiyan. Everyone else following in the Super Saiyan steps, they now know it's possible. He definitely hasn't watched... Exactly. He just clearly isn't... He doesn't know what he's talking about if he's going to say Super Saiyan. Dude, you know how hard Vegeta tried? He knew about the legend. Goku had no clue about the legend, right? It's just about how hard you work, how strong you are, and you also have to have control over your emotions. As far as I can tell, he doesn't. To be a Super Saiyan, you must be pure of heart. Are we going to say Cars is pure of heart? Really? Vegeta initially became a Super Saiyan because of his pure rage. Same thing with Goku, but Goku's rage was righteous. Vegeta's was more selfish. He's a more selfish character. He went from being a villain to an anti-hero to now he's a, he's a Z fighter. Right? He's one of Earth's defenders. He actually single-handedly was the reason Earth wasn't destroyed by Beerus in the Battle of Gods movie. He's not pure at all. Exactly. Like, I am not for a moment gonna give Cars the pure of heart title. Just not at all. Maybe if you want to say pure evil, which that was a theory that you could become a Super Saiyan through pure evil, and then you start to look more like Super Saiyan 4. But GT isn't even canon, so I don't even know where they're going on about that. Like, Super Saiyan 4 isn't even canon. Right? So, no. Just because he has Saiyan DNA does not mean I don't even think Cars can have Zenkai Boost. That's what I was saying. Like, you're saying narratively he wouldn't let himself take damage and get beat. The way he recovers is not, like, again, the way he recovers is not typical. It's so atypical to how a Saiyan has, like, Zenkai Boost is because of the Saiyan's full body and the fact that they don't have the ability to just anamorph and be a fucking slime, right? His form is so malleable, right? The idea, if you're going to give him Zenkai Boost, then why wouldn't he be able to just permanently give himself Zenkai Boost by tearing his own cells apart, right? At, like, the literal fundamental level and then have Super Saiyan instantly. Again, you have to give him this narrative intellect on the concept of Super Saiyan in the first place. Goku had no clue. He had no idea about Super Saiyan. It's a big ass. It's a big order, dude. The one thing I'll give them, maybe Zenkai Boost, the Great Ape form. He does have Great Ape. That is the one thing Saiyan DNA will give you. Even if you're only half Saiyan, you do have a Great Ape form. So that's the one thing. But again, Great Ape is easily stopped so long as you just destroy the moon. Which, every fighter worth anything, pretty much every fighter worth their salt in the entire Dragon Ball Z series is a moon buster, like he said. How does Cars beat anyone with Kaioken? Right? Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, Kaioken, what, they're gonna give him Kaioken too? Like, the concept, like, Kaioken, exactly, no, you bring up Kaioken is perfect here. Because Kaioken is it's a technique. It's something that you're taught and trained. That's the exact same thing with Super Saiyan. Humans can't become Super Saiyan, but because they don't have, like, the inherent ability, right? They don't have the DNA. You have to train for the technique. along with having the DNA to do it. It's not something like, oh, I have Saiyan blood, now I can be a Super Saiyan. No, you have to have Saiyan DNA. You have to train really, really hard. You have to fucking be pure of heart. All of this. All this. Think of Cars compared to all the Super Saiyans in the show. Right? They're all a little bit airheaded, a little bit, because, like, that's a level of their pure nature, right? The only one who's, like, most on it is, like, Vegeta. And that's because his pure of heart came from, like, pure rage, is their theory. But even still, it still also came from a place of, he wanted to not be outdone by Goku, but he also does love Bulma, believe it or not. And he was only able to finally become Super Saiyan once he became a Z fighter. So even if they want to say pure rage, it does seem like you do need to have an element of good in you as well. Right? Broly as well. All the Super Saiyans in the show have a good nature to them. Every single one. I'm thinking very hard. I'm thinking very, very hard. Of a single Saiyan that is, like, evil. You have, Goku Black, but that's not fair because Goku already unlocked Super Saiyan and then he just got his body stolen. So that's not the same thing at all. Right? It's not even close. This is crazy, actually. I didn't think that this video was gonna make me pause every 30 seconds, but holy shit. If I was gonna upload this as, like, my first reaction content, more reaction content on the VODs channel, it's like, it's gonna be a long video. Oh my god.
Combine that with regen and, well, we saw what happened with Cell. On top of that, Cars might actually be able to use alien DNA. This is more contentious, but worth mentioning. In the manga and the anime...
What is he? So he brings up Cell, yes. Cell had Saiyan DNA. Did Cell become a Super Saiyan? No, he didn't. He not only does Cell have all the DNA that he's fucking going on about, he has Saiyan, Namekian, more than that. He's like parts of like the previous androids even. Cell has an insane amount of DNA inside of him, right? And Cell never became a Super Saiyan. And I assume that he's going to acknowledge that Cell is stronger than Cars. And if Cell isn't becoming a Super Saiyan, Cars isn't becoming a Super Saiyan. That's just what it is. You have to train really, really hard. Right? It's like saying, like... It's like saying, like, oh, he took Goku's DNA, now he has instant transmission. It's like, no, these are techniques. Cell was too perfect. Yeah, right?
That Saiyan sex ed lesson had a purpose. This has insane implications because Saiyans, of course, are pretty powerful by default. But more importantly, this gives him access to Zenkai boost and even transformations. Combine that with regen and, well, we saw what happened with Cell. On top of that, Cars might actually be able to use alien DNA. This is more contentious but worth mentioning. In the manga and the anime's diagram of Cars, as well as Araki's input from JoJo 6251, it's stated that Cars can use abilities from all living things. It's a vague statement, but aliens do exist in JoJo, and if you interpret this very literally, Cars shouldn't just be limited to Earth. It's every living thing. Contextually, it seems to apply to Earth, though, and of course, by this point in the story, aliens weren't shown in JoJo, and we don't know if Cars has prior knowledge of them or not. It's not like he could just automatically become something he's never seen before. So, because of how vague and arguable this is, and the fact that this won't matter too much anyways, we'll just go with it being Earth life forms and Saiyans, considering how close they are to humans. But just having Saiyan DNA won't make him strong by default. He would also need to learn about Ki first. The good thing is, though, he should be able to adapt to and learn Ki. Pretty easily, in fact. Normal humans in Dragon Ball can learn about Ki, and... Yeah,
I mean, sure. I'll give him that. Yeah, he adapted to Hamon instantly. Hey! Yay, Fatal! Let's go, dude! Hey, huge, man. Thank you. Yes, dude.
Cecile gifted a tier 1 subscription to fatal_art_x.
Yes, it finally got to play it. Thank you so much, Ziesel. Ah, thank you for the gifted. Ah, thank you so much, dude. Yeah, Fatal, that's great. We were just talking about that. That's excellent. That is top tier. That's what we wanted. It's about time we get Fatal subbed up here. I was about to enter into the creator rewards thing or whatever, so that I could try and gift him a sub, because I had just thought about it. I was like, I think I should get Fatal a sub because he's watching too many ads, chilling in the stream for all this time. Yup. Shout out Zizel, right? Check out Zizel. Zizel, yeah. Sick, man. Thank you so much for the gifted sub. That was awesome. That was amazing, dude. Awesome. But yeah, so I will say that, like, cars should be able to adapt to Key, right? Cars should be able to adapt to Key because he adapted to Hamon like that, right? He adapted to Hamon pretty damn quickly. But that's just the thing. Just because you've adapted to Key, there is such a higher ceiling. There's such a higher ceiling. I mean, I'm still just like, that's so sick. That's actually awesome. Thank you so much for the gifted. That's crazy. But yeah, so just because you give him Key, it doesn't mean a whole lot. I mean, pretty much every character in Dragon Ball has Key, and like that's what like the scouter is scouting, you know, even like that farmer guy. It's just a matter of how adept you are at using it, and then also, you know, training and all that. Just being smart isn't enough to become efficient with Key. You have to like have a lot of battle practice. You have to go into battle practice. It's not something that you can, as far as I know, I mean, the gods kind of do it a little bit. The Kais, they don't really battle as much. They do some battling, but they do more like meditation, and that's how they refine their Key more. But again, this is a point where I'm like, yes, I do think Cars would be able to master Key because he instantly mastered Hamon without previously having it. So it is possible.
Cars is far beyond a normal human's capabilities and knowledge. When thrown into this verse, even if he's just starting at 0 with Key, right away his senses are far better than any other human, and he can detect things normal people can't. This could easily lead him down the path to sensing Key, then learning it for himself. It shouldn't be hard for a 400 IQ vampire that could duplicate anything humans can do, and someone who did the same with Hamon already. I don't think either of those things are crazy to say, because with Key, that is basically a given considering Cars could do anything a human could do, but better. As for the Saiyan DNA, it's not a crazy stretch. Cars also can evolve from battles regardless, so even if adapting to alien DNA might be a bit of a stretch, and the fact that we don't want to pull a no limits.
Look, he's showing it again here, right? The chitinous plating. It goes on to show that he had to consistently make it, right? He is beaten by a volcano. I want to turn this fan off because if I was gonna like upload this, it's so noisy. I know it's so noisy, but it's still like 90 degrees in here. It's actually too hot. It's too hot to turn it off. I'm sorry, y'all. I am sorry. But yeah, I mean, he's even showing it here. Like, he's clearly aware that, like, Cars is threatened by volcanoes. And pretty much every fighter worth their salt in Dragon Ball Z is not threatened by a volcano. It's just the facts.
Say can copy everyone's DNA, we'll just stop it at Saiyan DNA, which is pretty reasonable in my eyes. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, hit a Hamon overdrive on that like button. It really does help out the channel and gives me good feedback. So, with that detour out of the way, where could he go from here? Using Saiyan DNA and Key for himself, alongside all his other adaptations and strategies, Cars could probably carry himself all the way through Namek with no problems, since he already is faster and now will also have the same strength as everyone else. And when his strength grows, his speed would too. But that's all assuming he actually has the...
Wait. I thought we were sticking with Dragon Ball, and now he's talking about Namek. Dude, he's not talking, bro. He is not. What are we talking about right now? What are we actually talking about? I'm not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it. Pulling my hair out, right? Wait, so I thought that, again, I kept giving him the benefit of the doubt. I kept giving him the benefit of the doubt because I was like, yeah. I kept giving him the benefit of the doubt because I'm like, he's just talking about Dragon Ball, you know, he's acknowledging, you know, he gets shit on by the Z fighters. He thinks that he's competing with the Namek fighters. What are we on about, dude? What are we on about? He's taking him past Dragon Ball and throwing him into Z. He said Namek. Namek isn't even mentioned until Z, because it's initially in Dragon Ball, the concept is Piccolo is a demon, right? It comes out later that he's actually an alien. That's what it comes out to later.
It really does help out the channel and gives me good feedback. So, with that detour out of the way, where could he go from here? Using Saiyan DNA and Ki for himself, alongside all his other adaptations and strategies, Cars could probably carry himself all the way through Namek with no problems, since he already is faster and now will also have the same strength as everyone else. And when his strength grows, his speed would too. But that's all assuming he actually has the time to train.
So he thinks, again, he keeps thinking that just because he copied Saiyan DNA, so he thinks, oh, I took Saiyan DNA, now I'm as strong as Goku. No, exactly, right? Oh, I took Saiyan DNA, I'm as strong as Goku now. How many other Saiyans does Goku shit on? Let me count. Every other Saiyan in the entire show, Goku shits on them. Just because you're a Saiyan doesn't mean you're as strong as every other Saiyan. Like, that's not how it works. Zenkai boost. Goku's had, like, the most Zenkai boosts. Like, truly, he has.
Prepare. Now the question is completely different. How long could he keep up with everyone for? This part is a lot less objective and more subjective, but we do have some things to work off of. Knowing his adaptation, intelligence, and access to Saiyan abilities like Zenkai's, he will be really hard to kill at first. Again, assuming he has time to train and prepare. Like, if we just gave Cars some Ki and Saiyan DNA and throw him against full power Frieza on Namek, he's cooked immediately. He doesn't instantly just...
Okay, so he does acknowledge that he has to train. Alright, I guess I'm not letting him talk, but he's not... He should prefix it first without saying... No, dude, it's not even my fault. He's like, he handles everyone on Namek. It's like, say he handles everyone on Namek if he has time to train. Yeah, if you want to give him prep time and no one else gets prep time, like, that's just not fair. If you give him prep time as well as Goku's prep time, it's like, it is questionable if Cars' prep time is greater than Goku's prep time. Goku is able to learn fucking techniques gods can't learn. He can't keep up, that's how long. He doesn't keep up, that's hella funny. How long does he keep up? Not long at all. That's hella clouded. But no, so that's the thing. That's the thing. Goku's like an idiot or whatever, but he's hella he's really smart when it comes to battle. So the thing is you're gonna throw him into, like, give him all this prep time. If Goku has an equal amount of prep time, I don't know if Cars is ever catching up. Goku is insane with the levels of stuff he can do. Beerus can't do instant transmission. He's a destroyer god. Don't tell me you think that fucking Cars has a chance against Beerus. Right? Goku is going up against Beerus with, with all this prep time and all that. And again, we're going now into Super, Dragon Ball Super, but at this rate, he's gonna throw him into Super. We're halfway done with the video, and he's talking about Namek. He's gonna bring us to Dragon Ball Super at this rate, bro. And it's not even close.
By being a Saiyan. None of that matters if he doesn't have time to grow. So let's do it a bit different in this video. This section of the video is more like, what if Cars was part of the Dragon Ball verse? Would he be able to make it through everything if he took Goku's place and had the same amount of training? Like I said, nothing up to Namek would be a struggle because with that same amount of training, Cars would definitely grow beyond all the other villains around him.
Again, I have yet to see where he's saying... I have yet to see why Cars' base speed is hundreds of times faster than light. Just what he was talking about, Beerus and Super Saiyan gods later. Yeah, so he does go into it. It's like, I don't even know, dude. Like, this is a thing, right? He's like... He's starting to change the prefix. He's trying to change the prefix of the video, not necessarily. It's like verses. And then he's trying to he's making it different, right? But sure, it still is kind of like how does he fare in the Dragon Ball verse, right? Again, Goku is remarkable. If you're gonna give him all like this narrative time to train and everything, that's not what it is. Like, okay, yeah, if you're gonna give Cars. The whole point in why Cars was defeated anyways is because his arrogance didn't let him run away. If he had just ran away from Joseph and just said, fuck it, I don't care about some random human, he could have gone off to be the perfect being. Learn to make new creatures, right? Truthfully, if you can change your DNA to be any creature, if you have the mind for it, there's literally nothing you shouldn't be able to do, right? DNA in its potential is literally limitless, right? You should be able to, make wormholes and stuff eventually. That's my scientific theorem on DNA and how powerful life is with its adaptations and potential and all that. If you're gonna give him all this prep time, then sure. But the point is, he didn't even get like more than a day as perfect as the ultimate life form, right? And that's why he was defeated, right? That's the whole narrative reason why he's defeated. If you give him longer than the instance that he's dropped in, right? Which again, it's a question of if his arrogance would even let him do that. Like, you're assuming he would train anyways, which has he ever shown himself to do that? No. They learn, and he'll do stuff like learn fast, but no, he doesn't train. Cars does not train.
Pretty much by default, he outspeeds a lot of them. Once we get to Namek, that's
He
where things get
outspeeds a lot
more
of them.
convoluted.
What are you talking about? He
does pose a threat,
outspeeds.
but with Cars' intelligence, he could find a way. Ginyu would probably try to take Cars' body, but Cars wouldn't even let that happen in the first place given his smarts and speed. Or maybe he would, just to learn how Ginyu did it, and then replicate it himself. Very much.
How? What are you even fucking talking about? If Ginyu swaps bodies with Cars, he loses everything that Cars is. What are we talking about? Dude, this is such slop, bro. This is such slop. Oh my god. Dude, Goku, right now, he thinks that Cars is faster than Goku. He doesn't know instant transmission yet, so he's not teleportation, right? He learns instant transmission after the Namek Saga. He thinks Cars is faster than Namek Goku, who wasn't able to dodge, Ginyu's. The meat riding is insane. He's like, oh yeah, he'd get his body taken and then he'd replicate it himself. How? The ability, Ginyu's ability to change now. That's not an ability you get if you're in Ginyu's body. As far as I understand, it's a soul ability he has, because he can do it as a frog. He takes his ability with him. So what do you mean he's gonna replicate it himself? How? It's like never even gone into at all, like how Ginyu is doing it. You know what I'm saying? How is he replicating it? He loses his body, right? He loses his body, everything that makes him the ultimate life form. He even loses, like, his thinking capacity, right? The only thing he has left would be the memories, right? It doesn't swap your brain. He wouldn't be able to think as quickly anyways. Like, just realistically. Ginyu was already smarter than Goku, so it didn't matter when Goku was swapped into his body. But that's the thing. Narratively speaking, it's an ability that's unique to Ginyu, right? No one else in the entire show, as far as I remember, has the ability to change now. So how's he replicating it? Especially after he's taken his, faster than light speed, fucking Zenkai boosted, fucking whatever other meat writing they're going on about his ultimate life form body. He's getting instantly cooked if he's hit by change now.
Much a hypothetical, but funny thing to note. It's definitely better than his own possession too. But anyways, once Cars gets past this, what's next? Well, of course he can regenerate, so if he does take any damage, he's just gonna grow from it, and he'll heal himself. Exploiting Zenkais would be really hard because he can't just injure himself and then grow back from that. Like Vegeta showed on Namek, you have to have someone else injure you. So maybe he could utilize that during these fights. Once he gets to Frieza, he wouldn't counter an issue. Goku was weaker than Frieza and had to utilize the Kaioken and Spirit Bomb, the latter of which Cars wouldn't even be capable of, and the former Cars could do, but only if he actually knew about it. He has Saiyan DNA, but he doesn't just have every Goku.
No, he can't do Kaioken. No, he cannot do Kaioken. No, he cannot do Kaioken. Must I say it again? Kaioken is a fucking ability that King Kai created. He invented it. I knew it, bro. Exactly. Dude, it's an ability King Kai invented. Trained it to Goku because Goku can learn it. He has the mind to do it. Vegeta cannot use Kaioken. I knew he would bring it up. Right? Holy shit, dude. I just gotta keep watching. I'm gonna be here forever at this rate.
So, assuming he got to Goku's level of power here, how is he gonna fight Frieza? Because Frieza's stronger now. There is a way. given Cars' grasp on his own biology, there's a chance he could just figure out how to transform on his own. Yes, I mean, he could just transform into Super Saiyan. As much as people might not like the whole cells thing, it's important here because Cars wouldn't have a lot of them right off the bat. But what stops him from just creating more? As we've discussed, Cars can manipulate anything with his cells, and at least part of Super Saiyan is based on genetics. So, Cars gives himself Saiyan DNA, figures out how to push himself farther, discovers his own S cells, and then replicates them. Then, Cars figures out how to go Super Saiyan, realizing that if he excites these cells, he's able to transform. Then
How does he even know about Super Saiyan? Who was telling him? The only reason why anyone knows about Super Saiyan is because Vegeta, the sole survivor of planet Vegeta's destruction, knows about the legend. That's the only reason anyone knows jack shit about the Super Saiyan legend. How does he know? How does he know? What are we talking about even? And again, he's overlooking the pure of heart aspect. Bro's got someone feeding him info, probably through the meat riding. Right? I mean, like, again, it's not outright impossible for him to learn about, you know, Super Saiyans, especially because how much, like, if we're putting Vegeta in character, right, Vegeta didn't care that much about spreading the word, right? He was like, oh, you're screwed now, Frieza. He's a legendary Super Saiyan. But he would say Super Saiyan, then he's like, well, what the fuck is that? Just like Frieza. He's like, well, it's a legendary warrior. And then he's like, okay, well, Cars, like, it doesn't even narratively make sense. Like, what, how does knowing someone else can become a Super Saiyan translate to, I can become a Super Saiyan if I take their DNA? Jeez, I gotta, like, clear my nose. Got, like, this... Jesus. Yeah, how does he know? And he's not pure of heart.
He wins. Even when we just limit his DNA to Saiyans, he's still really crazy.
He thinks he beats Frieza. Like, he unironically thinks he beats Frieza? These are... Yeah, I agree. I concur. Dude, alright, hold on. Look, we're taking Cars out of character for all this training, Zenkai boost, fucking Super Saiyan bullshit. If Frieza has his head out of his ass, he immediately obliterates Planet Namek. He just obliterates Planet Namek, and what can Cars do? Oh, well, because Cars is the same as Goku, he beats Frieza. Really? Yeah, like, they're putting Cars on the same level as Super Saiyan, as Super Saiyan 1, Namek, and Goku. This is crazy. This is the most cope I've ever seen. Like, in a power scaling video, like, unironically. I've still yet to see why he even thinks he's fucking base. I've yet to see why he even thinks that he's faster than light as a base.
Now, Frieza could probably just stop him by destroying Namek. I mean, Cars won't die in space like Goku, for example, but we've seen what happens when he gets sent into space. He just freezes up, and that essentially does defeat him. Unless he's somehow able to copy Frieza, space is a pretty surefire defeat for him. So, Cars has a way to make it past this, but it's not a guarantee. It's not like it's going to be an easy fight. Let's move on to the android.
No, it is going to be an easy fight for Frieza. It'll be an incredibly easy fight for Frieza. Yeah, it's 240 kilometers an hour. He's nowhere close. Dude, so no, it's not even Dragon Ball. Like, legitimately, we're in Dragon Ball Z. The androids are Super Saiyan level. They're actually above Super Saiyan level. They have infinite energy. They're above Super Saiyan level. They have the ability to survive in outer space. Let's just be done with this. Like Jesus.
And assume he's also grown strong enough here to actually fight the androids, given the same amount of training. The androids aren't really going to do anything to him.
Exactly.
The energy engines will give some help, but they're not going to be smart enough to outplay him. But now things get weird because what's he going to do with Super Saiyan by this point? If he has had more training, would he be smart enough to figure out how to master Super Saiyan faster than anybody else did in the story? Better yet, go beyond it? Considering Kars' IQ and how intricately he can manipulate his cells, there is a very real chance that he's able to do this, accessing the different grades of Super Saiyan and maybe even Super Saiyan 2, or 3 even. But let's keep it simple for now and say he's just moving along and he's able to keep up with
Oh, no, Super Saiyan God! Why not just give him Super Saiyan God? I mean, after all, he has perfect control of his cells, so why wouldn't he be able to just make 5 other Saiyans within him that are pure of heart and make Super Saiyan God? Why not Super Saiyan God? I mean, after all, he has perfect control over his cells. It's like, dude, what are we fucking talking about, dude? Like, holy shit. Dude. Bro. Give me a fucking break, dude. Give me a break. Holy shit. What? What's stopping it? What's up? Just Super Saiyan God. I mean, Ultra Instinct. Why can't he go Ultra Instinct as well? He's got the same DNA. I mean, Goku's a Saiyan and he became an Ultra Instinct. I mean, why not Ultra Instinct too? Like, what are we even talking about? Just give him all. He just has Ultra Instinct. I mean, hey, Zeno's alive. I mean, hey, Zeno's a living creature. Why can't he just copy Zeno's DNA and all this? And it's like, what are we even talking about at this point? Like, these people unironically think Kars solos fiction. Like, they actually do think he just solos fiction. Ultra Ego, yeah, just Ultra Ego. I mean, Vegeta's a Super Saiyan, Ultra Ego. Why can't he Hakai people? He can learn the Hakai. Dude, even Vegeta struggles to learn the Hakai. And he is a destroyer mindset. He has the destroyer mindset to learn Hakai. That's literally what Whis tells him. He tells him that his mindset is better for Hakai, and Goku's mindset is better for Ultra Instinct. Right? Because Vegeta thinks too much, and Goku naturally is kind of like already flowing in the battle, airheadish. Right? So this is an angel. Oh, well, why can't just rewind time? Why can't just do what Whis does? I mean, like, what are you even talking? They legitimately unironically think he solos fiction. Like, what in the fucking world?
We'll just place him wherever Goku is. I mean, that's pretty reasonable. Both are geniuses, at least when it comes to combat.
No, it's not reasonable. It's not reasonable to make him as strong as Goku is in the Android saga. It's not reasonable. It's not. Like, it is definitively unreasonable, because your reason is that he can just copy Saiyan DNA and then use Saiyan DNA, he can just hack into fucking Super Saiyan. I'm pulling out Misai, right? A Medica box, exactly. Misogi, right? Holy shit.
Kars versus Cell would be kind of funny because, you know, Ultimate Life Form versus Perfect Life Form, both genetic masterpieces with regeneration. Cell regeneration is much better than Kars since he can come back from a single cell. For Kars, he requires
Dude,
at least dust to come back from, if not more.
I gotta look this up. He's going into this yet again. Dust is smaller than cells. I'm just looking it up real fast, dude. Dust comes from your cells. Hold on a sec. Okay, it says that okay. It's exactly what I fucking said. Because the concept of dust is that it's wide-ranging, right? You have sand particles, right, which also counts as dust, but they can also be all the way down to 1 micron. Since the dust I'm talking about is the breakdown of your skin cells. That's what I'm referring to when I say dust. And in general, that's what a lot of people are referring. Like, if you read the Sherlock Holmes books or you watch the movies, that's what he's referring to. He talks about the eloquence of dust, where it's like, you know, the breakdown of human beings and all that type of stuff. It is fractured skin cells, right? Which, mind you, blood cells are smaller than skin cells, but your blood can also become dust. Like, every part of you can become dust, so it's whatever. So he clearly thinks that dust is just larger than skin cells, I guess, is what he's going to go on. Or larger than cells, so sure.
Cell can also do the whole blow up Earth thing too, and this would be a lot easier for him. Like, if Cell self-destructs, which is pretty likely, we've already seen him do this before, then he wins. He might get desperate in the fight and then blow himself up. Cars wouldn't be able to do anything about it, because he can't teleport away. He's stuck on Earth, and when it's gone, he's frozen in space. Or maybe he gets caught.
So why can't he teleport away? Why can't he use instant transmission? I mean, Goku learned instant transmission, and he's insane. Why can't he learn instant transmission? He's gonna give him Kaioken, but not instant transmission. What's the fucking difference between mastering Kaioken and mastering instant transmission? Most honest reaction I've seen to these takes. My honest reaction to... Oh, that's what he said. I completely just, like, not making words up. My honest reaction to seeing these takes, yeah, just blessed. It's a good email. I gotta make some more. Gotta make some more like that. It's one of my favorite ones. But yeah, that's crazy to me, dude. That's crazy that, like, early in the video, he's like, well, you can give him Kaioken, which, again, Kaioken is the reason why Goku even lasted as long as he did against Frieza. You could say it's the reason he beat him. It was truly Super Saiyan, and I don't think he did Super Saiyan Kaioken in the Frieza fight, but he only made it that far because he was using Kaioken throughout the whole fucking battle. So why are we giving Cars Kaioken but not instant transmission? What's the difference? Truly, what's the difference? They're both techniques of how to use your ki. They're not something you can just copy. It's clunky, dude. It's clunky. Be consistent.
That just kills him, completely eviscerating him. That is a really easy win condition for Cell right there, and a very likely one too, because that's exactly what happened in the main story. If he's just fighting Cell one-on-one, and Cell gets really desperate, Cars is going to lose here. But it's not a surefire loss for him because, again, knowing Cars' adaptability and knowledge, as well as his great senses...
Okay, hold on. He just describes how he's basically doomed every single time, because Cell is always going to self-destruct. The moment he's like, man, this is tougher than I thought it was. That's what he's gonna do. And then he's like, well, but you know what? We always gotta give some credence to Cars because he's got adaptability and he can just dodge forehead. It's like, what are we talking about even?
After fighting Cell for a bit, he'd probably figure out how his regeneration works. And while Cell can survive as just a single cell, if that core is destroyed, then that kills Cell. So Cars could easily just figure out how to do that, locating the source of his regeneration and just stopping it for good. Well, what about Buu Saga? First off, against Babidi, he wouldn't really have a counter for magic because that's not something he could just adapt to right away. There is some magic on Earth, but Cars hasn't encountered that yet. And if he has, it's definitely not to the level of Babidi's. More important is the fact that Babidi could try and take over his mind, and I wonder how susceptible Cars would be. He's definitely evil enough for this to work on him, but we don't know how Babidi's mind control will interact with a smart mind like his, or if Cars would find some way.
We do! Because Vegeta is insanely smart! We know exactly how it will work. Dude, he's the fucking Saiyan Prince. He knows fucking, like, everything there's about the fucking cosmos. He's met Beerus. You know, he knew about fucking Frieza. He knows all this stuff, the Legend of the Super Saiyan, and all the struggles, and the planetary struggles, and all that stuff. He is a learned person, right? He willed himself into being a Super Saiyan. I'm sick of this downplay on Vegeta, bro. Why is the Vegeta downplay is insane here?
Also, against Buu, that would be a really tough fight because Buu has even greater regen than Cell and access to magic too. Granted, it's not as crazy as Babidi, but it makes me wonder how he would react to this. And could he replicate magic? Maybe, but again, he's never seen it before. One good thing is if Cars is hit by a candy beam, he could at least turn himself back to normal with his own body manipulation, so he can counter that. Although, if he's turned to stone by Deborah...
The way that they, again, the narrative reason why they were able to make themselves not candy anymore was because of their strength of will. Which Cars fell asleep in outer space because he was just fucking cruising. Buu wins, bro. Now stop before you look stupid. It's just, he's gonna give him some ability to win. He's gonna find some crazy... Dude, Boo literally is, he destroys galaxies. This is the level we're on. He's a galaxy buster. It takes Boo a little bit of time, but that's the whole reason why why the Supreme Kai didn't want him to be resurrected, because he's like, it's the end of the galaxy. You're comparing not even apples to oranges, bro, because those are two fruits. You're comparing a fucking rock to an apple. That's what you're doing. Hell, not even rock. You're comparing a fucking ice cube to an apple, bro. A snowball in hell to an apple in my hand. Like, Jesus.
He could probably quickly counter that by cutting one of his body parts off. But, as we saw in part 2, petrification kinda does work on him in the first place. I feel like Cars would be smart enough and fast enough to work around that, realizing what's happening before it's too late and having a way to counter it. But if DeBoer just spits a bunch on him and gets a lucky shot on his head, maybe they could win. So by this point in the story, the fights are really up in the air because it depends on what Cars can do, and I don't want to get too much in the...
At this point in the story, the fights are up in the air because I don't want to just say my boy Cars loses. Holy fuck, bro. Apples to trees, basically, right?
Because we're already kind of far in there, and any further I'd just be saying, oh yeah, Cars wins because probably he could. No, I don't want to do that. And once again, space is an option.
That's what you did throughout the whole fucking video, though!
Kid Buu is single-minded and will probably just go to destroy the planet right away. When he first appeared, that is exactly what he did. His first move might just be to blow up everything, and then Cars is screwed. And unlike Cell, stopping his regeneration is really hard because Cell at least has the core that he could destroy. Buu can come back from pretty much nothing, and he doesn't have a defined core that he regenerates from.
Again, he's putting in narrative reasons. As far as I understand, Kid Buu isn't stronger than Fat Buu. Right? He's not stronger than Fat Buu. He's just willing to use the power he has. Fat Buu is like, he's kind of lazy, and he's also kind of chill. That's the only reason. That's like the difference. As far as I understand, Kid Buu isn't actually stronger. The one that is definitively stronger is Super Buu, because he absorbed some Z fighters. Right? If I'm not mistaken.
It's like if any little single piece of him is left, even if he has like a small cell of him somewhere else on the battlefield, that's going to be enough. And by Battle of Gods, I think it's safe to say Cars has stopped hard here. So first...
Oh, well, why not? Why can't he become a Super Saiyan God? Why can't he just... Like, he can make a squirrel out of his hand, right? Why can't he make 5 other Saiyans of pure of heart and just turn himself into Super Saiyan God? Like, what are we even talking about? I mean, why wouldn't he be able to master that key, too? Because, oh, he can basically master magic. He said, like, he'd be able to master magic if he had more time to adapt it. That's what he said. He was like, oh, he can't do magic because he hasn't seen it before, but it's like... That implies if he's seen it before that he could master magic. So why wouldn't he also be able to master God Key? You know, why can't he master God Key? What are we talking about? Holy shit.
He just get Godly Key. It's a new thing to him, awakened by training or ritual, and something that they didn't have prior knowledge of. So it's not something that Cars could just...
As with fucking everything in the video, dude. Every single fucking thing you went about in this video, how does he know? Why does he give a fuck about Saiyan DNA? How does he know Super Saiyan? You gave him Kaioken even. He's still, I'm waiting for why his base form is faster than like hundreds of times faster. Where's any of this coming from, dude? Holy fuck.
Can't even sense it in the first place. Cars does have a great mind and great senses, but the Masters of Ki on Earth by this point were physically incapable of sensing it and manipulating it as well, at least until they obtained it themselves. Cars wouldn't have a way to get it for himself unless he does do the ritual, and he wouldn't fit that without the right kind of heart. And he would need other people in the first place.
So he acknowledges. He acknowledges that there is a pure of heart requirement. But only... I had to get a drink after that one. I did. I had to go get a soda. Because holy shit, dude. This can't be considered meat riding anymore. It's beyond that. Right? Like, literally. Bro, he acknowledges, listen to this. He acknowledges that there's a pure of heart requirement. Right? He acknowledges there's a pure of heart requirement to become a Super Saiyan God. The exact same requirement exists to become a Super Saiyan. The exact same requirement. It's not even retcon. It's not even retcon. It's just, narratively speaking, does pure of heart mean you can be pure evil? And that's the whole question, and it does seem to be yes. So long as your emotions, so long as your heart and the emotions you're feeling and are in line, they're pure, right? Pure rage, you know, pure envy, right? Vegeta's sheer willpower and his envy to match Goku is what allowed him to become a Super Saiyan. He's not like a pure good guy. He's not Goku, but he's also a Super Saiyan. It's not because he's no longer pure. It's not because they retcon pure of heartness. It's because it's a different requirement, right? So maybe Cars can become a Super Saiyan through being pure evil, but he's not pure evil. He's pretty evil, but he's not pure evil. As far as I remember, he has like, there's like, he like pets fucking animals and stuff like that. You know, he has shit like that. He hates humans, that's for sure. So he acknowledges the pure of heart requirement. And then, why wouldn't he be able to just, if Cars can literally make other living creatures out of himself, right? They are standalone creatures. Why can't he do that? Like, bro, we're already sucking him off all the way to completion. So why don't we just finish, dude?
As well, at least until they obtain it themselves. Cars wouldn't have a way to get it for himself unless he does do the ritual, and he wouldn't fit that without the right kind of heart. And he would need other people in the first place to do so. He's in Goku's place here, so we'll put him up against Beerus, and he's not doing anything. He won't be able to become a god, and he'd likely just piss Beerus off if anything. Then he gets Hakkai'd, and he's done. Also, if we throw him up against Goku by this point, for example, he's not doing anything with the lack of godly ki. And if you want to say he finds a way to impress Beerus and somehow makes it to Resurrection F, by that point he's going to be power gapped so hard that it wouldn't even make a difference. So I think we could pretty safely say, with raw power alone, Cars makes it to the 22nd World Tournament. Most likely, relying a lot on his abilities, he can make it to Namek, but he's not really going to do much there unless he could actually adapt his Saiyans and basically become one and do everything that Goku does. And if he is able to do that, then he could probably make it up to the Buu Saga, and at best Battle of Gods, but he's not going further than that. It's a pretty fitting end. Cars is the ultimate life form in his world, but once we start seeing all the otherworldly and godly stuff in Dragon Ball Super, he's going to have issues. We could just go the cheap route and interpret the statement about him being able to replicate anything in the world as the universe as a whole, but I think that at least gives a somewhat grounded answer as to how far he could go in this verse. Keyword, somewhat, not fully grounded. Anyways, let me know what you think below. And as usual, be sure to be civil in the comments. We're just having a fun discussion here. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on...
Alright. His conclusion was a little, it put into words a little bit better. Because as he's discussing it, it makes it seem like this is so bad, bro. I mean, okay, I'm not gonna just like talk all the shit, even though like I disagree with all this. Yeah, 90% of the info was just incorrect, basically, right? I agree with that, right? The video was, you know, he talked well, he had a nice voice, edited the video a lot. It's pretty good. You know, it was like watchable. You know, it was definitely watchable. Now that I said what's good about it, holy fuck, dude. Holy fuck. Like, the conclusion at the end, where he's like, okay, he stomps on, he basically said that he stomps on, you know, the World Tournament in Dragon Ball. Yeah, the info was not, right? Exactly. Kind of, this might actually be the same guy, but I don't know. So, okay, he thinks that, you know, I don't think he's making it past Dragon Ball. I don't think he's making it past the World Tournament. I don't. Right? They have Moonbuster capabilities in that tournament. He's not doing that. And then they're thinking, oh, he just dodged his forehead. I've yet to see, actually, okay, that's my big critique. I've still yet to see, throughout the entire video, how is he faster than light? What was a single, like, he didn't even, none of the clips even showed, or anything, like, the closest it comes is him slashing the fucking machine gun. At most, you have to be machine gun level to counter machine guns. He has a Piccolo PFP? PFP? I can't think. Oh, jeez. So, oh my gosh. So, yeah, it's just... That's crazy. Like, thank you for sending me this video. That was... I spent like almost like 2 hours on this 16-minute video. I swear, I think that's what it is. Or like an hour and a half. Holy, dude. Oh, profile picture. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the salad bar. Is that Piccolo? I think that might be a different Namekian. He has to know something about Dragon Ball. Yeah, I think this might just be a different Namekian. I don't know what Namekian this would be though. It looks, I don't know who this is. How he was so wrong. Yeah, so like again, I still just yet to see like why they think Cars' base speed is hundreds of times faster than light. Like that was like the most fucking glossed over. So how was he so wrong? Right? Exactly, right? Especially if he's pulling out some other character that I can't even think of. I've seen all of it. I didn't finish watching GT because in 4th grade, that was when GT came out, and like that was the craze and all that. I wasn't able to watch. I didn't have cable anymore, so I wasn't able to watch GT. But I've seen Dragon Ball. I've seen Dragon Ball Z. I've seen Super. I watched Battle of Gods. You know, Revival of X. I know about Dragon Ball Heroes. Right? So yeah, I don't know. The biggest thing is just like the only thing that they can give him and why he's able to handle himself in the fucking tournament is because he's allegedly hundreds of times faster than light. But I didn't see any proof. I didn't see anything for that. Nothing that backs that up. And that's what these guys consistently say. Because he has 1 feet of him reacting to a fucking very clearly going to be fucking aimed at you laser blast. Right? It's like thinking like, you know, is Neo dodging those bullets in the Matrix? Is he faster than bullets? Or is it that he sees they're coming and he's reacting to his perspective? Right? He might be faster than bullets because in the slow-mo, he's moving about as fast as the bullets are, so maybe it is. But in terms of, like, narratively speaking, you can't just take someone's reaction to a really quick attack, right? There's so many reasons why someone can dodge, you know, light speed attacks in fiction. You can't just say he's faster than light because he has 1 feet of him dodging fucking something that might not even be lasers. I'm pretty sure it was narratively lasers. It was like concentrated UV rays is what they are, right? It's crazy to me, actually. Yurujo Hanima versus all of Dragon Ball is insane. Alright, this is one that I won't talk too much on this because, I mean, Hanima's kind of insane, actually. If you do put him in Dragon Ball, I do think, like, it'd be along the same lines where you have to fucking give him the ability to train up a little bit more, right? But I mean, he does, I think he has, I think that would be a better video to watch, actually. Gonna say Yujiro and the power of the turn, but I still think he's just Moonbuster attacks. It's just the only thing that they had throughout the whole video is he's just fast. He just dodges forehead, and then he takes their abilities and then uses their battle power against them. It's like no, dude. It's just no. Alright, here, let me put on that other video, that other one with Miles versus Deku, the death battle. Like, holy. That's pretty good, though. I appreciate you sending that to me.